My
That's
journey
very
from courtroom
impressive.
to
And
podcast,
but
led by
question
history's
first
tales
comes
and
to my
wrestling's
mind,
drama.
how did you start doing your podcasts? What brought you from being a lawyer to actually being a podcaster?
Well, a lawyer might be my job, but I've been a geek and a nerd and an oddball my entire life, and a blithering know-it-all wannabe. So I've always had a search for knowledge, mostly found in really liking, enjoying reading. And once you sort of get into sort of historical fiction and items like, I mean, like Da Vinci Code, the characters were nothing, but the story was intricately woven and was terrific. I mean, it was ridiculously outlandish, but it like, introduced large parts of the world to the Templars and the Rosicrucians and the this and the that and all of that. And then you start reading all those other historical fiction, or, just call them theological thrillers or whatever genre you want. And, it sort of opened the door to a lot of things, and you stumble upon a lot, and you realize how much you don't know and how complicated history is. At some point, I realized that the Holy Roman Empire, or the Eastern Roman Empire, really got short shrift in my education. So, basically Rome fell in the fourth century or so, and yeah, there were a couple people who pretended, and Charlemagne made a go of it, but that was better. No, not like that. So basically a search for knowledge. As far as the podcast itself, I was actually recruited into podcasting. I'll try to give the short version, by somebody who was already an existing podcaster in different genre. A lot of people knew me from a different part of the geekosphere, and that is professional wrestling. And he wanted to do a podcast, but not wrestling, and good, neither did I. And we started the show, but I don't know if it was not the show he envisioned, or didn't like working with me, or just was in a state of his life where he didn't want to do the show or whatever. So probably somewhere between episodes 10 and 20, he sort of left and basically said, you can learn how to do it or not. And so I said I want to learn how to do it. So I learned how to do it, and I didn't really know what the show's personality was going to be. Tried to pick up as best I can, with what we were doing before, but it was a two-person show.